What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. In today's video we're taking a look at an insane high impact pulse rifle. It's one of the dark horses of Season of the Lost, so much so it can still give the messenger a run for its money. So if you want to find out more, be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Just over 70% of the viewers on the channel aren't currently subscribed, so be sure to hit that red button and ring that bell to make sure you don't miss an update. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now when it comes to high impact pulse rifles inside Destiny 2, the messenger is often seen as the benchmark of pulse rifles in that archetype, and rightfully so. Statistically, it's one of the strongest weapons across the board, and after a kill, it's one of the most lethal weapons in the game, with Desperado greatly increasing its rate of fire and therefore reducing its time to kill. Now if you've been playing Trials of Osiris over the last few weekends, you would have seen the messenger an awful lot based on the maps that we had available, but one pulse rifle that you may not have seen too much of is the Legal Action 2. This is also a high impact pulse rifle and was in fact reprised as part of Season of the Lost and forms part of the world loot pool. If you haven't got your hands on one of these, you can either get them from Umbral Engrams over at the Prismatic Recaster in the Helm, or if you're handing Gunsmith materials over at Banshee 44 in the Tower, he also has a chance to drop the Legal Action 2. Now thankfully the Legal Action only has 6 perks in each column, so therefore it shouldn't be too hard to get a good roll, and we'll be talking more about the perks on this weapon later in the video. As for now though, let's look at the weapon stats and Verstat versus other weapons of the same archetype. Here we're looking at the Cold Denial, the Stars in Shadow, and also the Messenger. Now I know what you're thinking, there's a lot of green numbers when it comes to the messenger, and rightfully so, as statistically it's one of the strongest weapons in the game. But much like a game of football, they aren't won on a piece of paper, and therefore the stats here don't tell the full story. Now if we take the range stat as an example, the range stat on the messenger is 3 higher than that of the Legal Action, that has a base range of 37 meters. Now the Legal Action has a base range of 45 meters. Now the defining factor on this difference is linked to the sight on the Legal Action. Now the zoom on the Legal Action is 22 compared to 18 on the messenger, but it's the 2.2 zoom on the Hake sight that makes all the difference. Now the zoom on this scope is higher than any other high impact pulse rifle in the archetype, and is higher than a lot of scout rifles currently available in the game. So with that in mind, the effective range for the Legal Action is between 45 and 50 meters, which is considerably more than the messenger even at max range. Now I know what you're thinking, but it doesn't always come down to range when it comes to high impact pulse rifles, and you're absolutely correct, and this is where the recoil stat really comes into play. Now on the Legal Action and messenger, the recoil stat is both 70 across the board, with both of them ending in 0. It allows them both the opportunity to have a perfectly vertical recoil pattern. And when you combine the ability of getting a perfectly vertical recoil pattern with the increased zoom, as well as the higher effective range of up to 45 meters, combining those two stats alone means that you can hit your targets from further away more consistently without the risk of damage drop off. So that's a good look at some of the important weapon stats. Now let's take a look at the perks and the sort of roles you should be seeking out on this underrated pulse rifle. Now because of the effective range and zoom on this weapon, you don't really need to think about range on this pulse at all. Something like Arrowhead Break, which gives you plus 10 to your handling and plus 30 to your recoil, giving you the perfect 100 stat on your recoil stat on the Legal Action, will be the preferred choice in the barrel. If you aren't able to get Arrowhead Break though, then Chambered Compensator is another great option. It boosts your stability by plus 10, it gives you an additional 10 to your recoil. If you find yourself with Chambered Compensator, stick on a counterbalance mod and you'll have an almost perfect vertical recoil pattern. Now as for the magazines, you could pretty much go with any choice you like. I have Tactical Mag on mine, which boosts the stability by plus 5, as well as boosting the magazine by plus 10 and increasing my reload by plus 10 as well. If you're looking for more stability though, you can go with steady rounds. Whilst this will reduce the range by minus 5, you'll still have more range than a messenger, and it will provide plus 15 to your stability stat too. As for the messenger, in this column you'll either be looking for high caliber rounds or ricochet rounds. Both of those do provide bonuses to your range, as well as slightly improving your stability. One of the biggest talking points is that Legal Action doesn't roll with either of those perks, and in all honesty it's because it doesn't need it. Now as for the weapon's main perks, as we said earlier in the video, there are 6 in each column. In the first column you have Feeding Frenzy, Surplus, Heating Up, Killing Wind, Moving Target, and Underdog. And in the final column you have Rampage, Frenzy, Wellspring, Osmosis, and Adrenaline Junkie. Now when it comes to the messenger, the go-to roles normally are Outlaw or Rapid Hit, and Kill Clip and Desperado. Now both of those are either reload perks or extra damage dealing perks, but you can only benefit from both of those final perks after you've already got a kill. And whilst that is very strong in certain situations inside the Crucible, it doesn't necessarily bode too well when it comes to PvE. The great thing about the perks on Illegal Action is they are strong across the board in pretty much any activity you choose to run, whether that be regular PvE or jumping into regular Crucible. Now in the third column, the two perks you should be seeking out on Illegal Action are either Killing Wind or Heating Up. Now, Killing Wind is where final blows grant increased mobility, weapon range, and handling for a short duration. Now, in terms of increased mobility, this increases your overall mobility stat for roughly 5 seconds, as well as improving your strafe speed. Now, the improvements to handling also help improve your ADS speed, and for the range, this helps reduce the bloom, as well as increasing your effective range by up to 3 to 5 meters, and this will vary depending on the weapon and the archetype of weapon that you're using. Now, Killing Wind really does lean into that run and gun playstyle, which is perfect for the Legal Action Pulse. Now, the other option here is Heating Up, and this has a stacking bonus. Now, Heating Up is where final blows with the weapon will increase the accuracy and stability while improving vertical recoil. It's extremely noticeable on things like high impact pulse rifles, and it's the perfect partner to something like the Legal Action. Now, as for the actual bonuses, a ×1 of Heating Up will improve your accuracy and stability by 15% and improve your recoil by +20. Now, just getting a single kill will proc Heating Up, and this will give the weapon +20 to the recoil, improving its recoil stat to almost 100 straight off the bat. Now, Heating Up will stack up to 2 times, and all these bonuses will double each time. So 2 times Heating Up will grant you a 30% increase to your accuracy and stability, and a massive 40 to your recoil stat. Now, as for the final column, the standout bonus here is Rampage. Now, this, much like Heating Up, is also a stacking bonus. However, this one stacks up to 3 times. Now, a ×1 on Rampage will increase your damage by 10%, 21% for ×2, and 33% for ×3. Now, unlike Messenger that requires a kill to improve its rate of fire or damage, Rampage is simply a stacking bonus that instantly activates upon a kill. This makes this weapon perfect for both PvE and PvP, and opens up the opportunity for getting kills on a 2 burst. Not only this, it also helps improve its effective range and damage drop off. So if you're seeking out Illegal Action, that's the sort of role you should most definitely be seeking out, and it would serve you justice in both PvP and PvE. Now, unlike the Messenger, which doesn't shine in PvE, high impact pulses will come in clutch later in the season, especially for Grandmaster Nightfalls. So if you can get a great role on the Illegal Action right now, this will stand the test of time when it comes to harder activities later in the season, but also Trials with Osiris each and every weekend when you choose to jump into the Crucible. So whilst the Legal Action isn't the easiest high impact pulse rifle to get your hands on right now, it's definitely worth checking each and every one that drops for you to see if you've got the god roll that's worth trying out next time you jump into PvP. But as always guys, be sure to let me know your thoughts down below. Is the Legal Action 2 the best high impact pulse rifle inside Destiny 2? And have we been sleeping on this weapon this entire time? Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. So there we have it guys, a good look at the Legal Action 2, what I firmly believe to be one of the best high impact pulse rifles inside Destiny 2. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.